Hey, and good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Greg Majeski back here on the Weather Nerds YouTube page with an update on our big storm system heading up the eastern seaboard. Been a bit of an active afternoon, especially along the Carolina coastline. We've had some flooding issues, tornado watch. It's just along the immediate coastal counties up until 8, mostly because of waterspout issues, potentials there. But this storm is starting to make its presence felt as we head further up the coastline, heading up into Virginia and now heading up closer to New England. And I'll show you some live cams here in a second. We're also going to take a look at the latest model data here from this afternoon, and we'll show you the latest on the storm system as it continues to get cranking up and heading northbound along the coastal areas. This 3-day event, really kind of going from yesterday down in Florida on Saturday, the Mid Atlantic here on Sunday, and then New England on Monday. Definitely a 3-day event to say the least. Let's look at the latest satellite imagery. Again, a lot of bright cloud cover here with the yellows and reds. That's indicative of kind of some of the thunderstorm tops. I did see some wind reports up to about 63 miles per hour there into areas there in the Carolinas with some of the spotter networks out there. So it's been very, very breezy to say the least. And this thing's continuing to get stronger. It's just now, getting itself together as it's getting a little energized with some additional energy coming in from the west. Let's take a look right now at that severe outlook is right along the coastal areas. That's where the tornado watch box is up until about 8 o'clock right now. There's still numerous flood watches all up and down the eastern seaboard, and to even see a general thunderstorm threat, really kind of making its way that far north in December is really says something. I mean, you got even a chance of thunderstorms going all the way up into the northeast. Really unusual to see, especially since we are in the middle of December. Let's look at the latest. Again, the watch warning map here. The watches there, those are flood watches in the green, going from basically North Carolina, going all the way up into Maine. And that area there in yellow, so those little few counties there along the Carolina coastline, that's a tornado watch box that's currently up until 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Again, mostly because of some, I know there's been reports of a few water spouts along the area, along the coastal area, so thus the watch box that's currently up there for those areas for now. And that'll continue until 8. I don't think we'll see anything like that up into New England, but it's going to be very, very gusty, to say the least. Let's take a closer perspective on the radar right now, kind of zooming in a little bit closer here. As the bulk of the heavier rains are moving out of the Carolinas now, moving into Virginia Beach. I'll show you a webcam there here in a second. It is very, very breezy along the coastal areas. And the major cities going northward into Baltimore, Philadelphia, into New York City. Conditions are going to go downhill there quickly here for tonight and into tomorrow. Again, travel not recommended, obviously, for tonight as this big storm system continues to move up toward the north. We'll go in a little bit closer here on Virginia Beach. We'll show you there the camera there showing the steadier, heavier rains. Seeing some heavier rains there just to the west of say over toward Richmond with some heavy precipitation there. I'm going to take myself down there, as you can see there, over toward Farmville, Keysville with some pretty heavy rains there. Those areas in yellow indicative of the heavier rainfall. Probably additional lift too. You're getting closer to the mountains over there. You get a little bit of lifting that actually acts as a bit of a sponge there with some of the moisture coming in from the south. A little further to the north, up to the major cities in Philadelphia and New York, not quite getting in there just yet, but those conditions will be going downhill as we head into tonight with some of the heavier rains moving up toward from the south to the north as that low pressure continues to step its way up toward the north. Let's take a quick look over at the flight delays right now, and currently JFK is reporting some pretty significant delays, but the big airports up there not seeing it yet. But I do suspect that that'll go downhill here for this evening, and I think tomorrow morning, definitely anybody traveling will need to check with their carriers as we could see significant travel delays across the Northeast. Hopefully, it'll be a quick hit and run, and they'll be able to get caught up, and it won't cause major travel delays, maybe some delays, but hopefully not a bunch of cancellations. That's what we can hope for as we head into Monday across New England. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back to the models here as I go ahead and take a look at this is the latest European model run here as we take a look at conditions. This is as of 7 o'clock for this evening, and we're going to step you through this run here as we go through going through Tuesday. So I'm not really focusing long term. I'm just kind of focusing on what we're expecting here as we go into Tuesday. So let's go ahead and step you through this here as we go through time, going through midnight tonight, and then for tomorrow morning. The pressure down to 984. The low is becoming what is a little bit elongated there, and that's a bit of a good news story there, because that means that the storm's not going to get nearly as strong. It's kind of being stretched out a little bit as we're watching this cold air kind of wrap in around the backside of this. So it's a little elongated. I don't think it's going to allow it to get as strong as what we initially were looking at initially, but not by much. We're talking just a little bit here. So it really makes a big jump there from the model run. You see it there from 984 with the low centered there in the morning, and then it jumps way to the north by the time we hit to the noon hour, and that's because it became elongated there. So down to 980 millibars. So not quite as bad as the 977, 976 that was showing earlier. Conditions on Monday will be quite blustery. Again, you see those isobars, those lines of equal pressure. You got the cold air kind of wrapping on the backside of this, so it's going to turn much colder across New England, briefly across the south before things begin to moderate heading into this upcoming work week. And quite frankly, most of the country is going to be fairly warm as we head toward Christmas Day. So once we go into late on Tuesday, it's just plain old cold air going in across the Northeast. Again, you're still seeing some of the lake effect snows, I think, into this area. You got the cold air kind of sitting right through here. So it's briefly colder across the Southeast, but again, everything will moderate a little bit as we head in later into the week. So we got to make it through Monday, and then Tuesday things will be colder, but looking better as we head into this upcoming new work week. Now, I promise you some look at some cameras, and boy, Virginia Beach, they got the winds really howling there along the coastline. You can see the sea is definitely kicking up, so a little bit of coastal erosion going on there with the higher seas. And those are only going to increase tonight as that low pressure gets a little bit stronger and moves closer up there. It'll be batting that area here for most of the night. Looking along the Jersey shore there, and I tell you, they kind of moved the camera there. There's a guy out there in that surf. I don't think I would be out in there. That's probably not a good thing to be. Rough surf, you get to get that undertow going, your rip currents going underway. Definitely not a good place to be at that point. And my last camera up a little bit further north, a little bit darker up here. This is up to East Hampton, New York, off Long Island. As you can see, the surf starting to increase there as well here for tonight as we go into the overnight hours. So I just hope folks across New England, especially because this is going to be a quite breezy, a big wind maker as it's up that way, have secured anything that can get blown around a little bit as we go into this upcoming weekend, upcoming work week on Monday, because it's going to be quite breezy to say the least. So low pressure still sitting off the coast there across South Carolina. You got that warm front right along the coastal areas going into North Carolina and Virginia Beach. So as this continues to move up toward the north and east, things will continue to go downhill here for tonight as we continue to track this area of low pressure. So again, it's going to be areas here in New York, New Jersey, Virginia. This is going to be the hot spot here for the overnight hours. Wouldn't be surprised to see some sporadic power outages. So I don't think anything too major with this system. But again, the flooding's been a big problem. That's been a big problem down for areas, as I was showing all day. The rainfall totals with this thing have been running about 3 to 5 inches, pretty much all in the path of this low pressure system. So flooding, localized flooding, will continue to be a problem for the Carolinas here for this evening, into Virginia, and then stretching into Maryland, Pennsylvania, and getting into New Jersey and New York as we head into tomorrow. And again, I'll show you that warning map once again. That's why we have so many of these flood watches that are currently up from Maine all the way down into North Carolina right now. Those flood watches in the south have ended because the rain has subsided and stopped there. So a big storm system here as we're heading into the middle of December. The good news is we will see it clear on out, and hopefully we won't have any big travel headaches as we head closer to the Christmas holiday for you folks heading into next week. The weather wheel been pretty positively receptive. I'm going to go ahead and put that back up for tonight. You can always come back here and check it, see where the progress of the low is. I keep the cameras out there a little bit as best as I can, and you can check that out as well. If you haven't subscribed to the Weather Nerds YouTube page, please do so. It'd be a pleasure to serve you again for future weather endeavors as they continue to build this channel. We just launched on 1 October, and we got a little over 800 subscribers so far. We got a little ways to go before we get this channel to where I would like it to be. All right, that's it for now. That's your update here for this evening. I will probably do another update in the morning. Once again, we'll see how things are doing up into New England as we head into tomorrow morning. It's going to be probably slow rush hour to say the least. Hope folks will give themselves a little extra time, and we'll see how things go. That's your update here for now. You guys take it easy. I'll go ahead and put the weather wheel back up once again once this broadcast ends. And you guys take it easy. Have a pleasant night, and we'll see you again for tomorrow. And I'll also have an updated lookout for looking ahead toward Christmas Day and into New Year's for one of my regular postings on the page. That's it for now. You guys take it easy. We'll see you on tomorrow morning's update.